TDPHINSTALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Hit that like button on your way in the building. Chris Greer out here giving out money. We trying to get our cut. Y'all get on in the building. Get on in the building. Chris Greer just signed Zach Sieler, whatever you want to call it, to a 3-year contract extension around about $38 million. It's pretty much about $13 million a year is what it comes up to. Man, oh man, we got to talk about this. What does this mean for Jonathan Taylor? What does this mean for Christian Wilkins? We're going to discuss that and more, but punch that like button on your way in the building. What's up, Justin? Shout out to the Mod Squad. Shout out to all the members of the channel. We on the road. We had a kid-free weekend. So, well, not kid-free. You know, you still got baby girl. But the little boys, you know, they auntie took care of them this weekend. So we're headed to pick them up. So we got a little drive. So we're going to talk about this, man. Come on in the building. We got 125 people in here already. Hit that like button. Punch that like button. We got to talk about this. There's a lot of implications here. Let's get the likes up so we can get into it. Let's get them likes up. Wilkins is a Jaguar. Oh, we got to talk about it, man. We got to talk about it all. Come on now, let's get them likes up and we're going to dive in. Get the likes up. Let's go. Oh, man, 50 likes. Let's get 100. Let's get 100. Come on, let's get it started. Come on, we got to at least break that 100 barrier. You hit it once, that's all you got to do. Jonathan Taylor soon. Woo, we going to talk about it. Because people don't understand what this signing means. It's loaded. I mean, to be honest with you, nobody can guess what's on Chris Greer's mind right now, but this signing with Sieler is loaded. This is loaded. And it makes me wonder, was Sieler really, really hurt? Or is he pulling a Christian Wilkins and like, give me my money? You know, he saw we got ran all over last night. Was like, man, we at least need to secure one. We gonna talk about it. Oh, my brother in the building. Love you, man. Breeda G in the house. I wish I had siblings to watch my kids. Man, this is rare. This is the first time that me or mom has not been with Carter and Kimmy. Ever. And the wife driving right now because they are 7 years old and 5 years old. This was the first night, last night, that they haven't been with one of us. So I don't know if I could actually say, oh, stop all that sad stuff. I don't know if I could actually say I have someone to watch them. So this was a one-time situation that's rare, bro. Rare. See, Carter's 7. This is like the first time. All right, so, all right, we got 190 people. Hit the like button. We can't just have 72 likes. Let's get 100 so I can start giving you my breakdown and diving into this, man. I got to dive into this. Hit that like button. Let's go.
Take my phone and like yourself so you can just start.
No. We good. We good. We going to get them likes. We going to get 100 likes at a minimum. I ain't been watching kids since I was 14 years old. I get it, man. Shout out to Jose with the first donation, said Wilkins getting traded. Ooh, we got to talk. We going to talk. We going to talk about it, man. Hit that like button. We need 11 more likes. We need 11 likes, man. We're going to get into it. Let's go. Let's go. All right, there we go. We got 105 likes. We got over 200 people in the building. Let me start, all right? Let me give you my take before I get into the chat. If you donate, I will read your donation. Just give me some time because I want to cook, all right? So if you do donate to the channel, I'm going to get to you. Don't be impatient and think that I'm gonna skip you up, all right? Let's get it. First of all, clap your hands, ladies and gentlemen. Fins up the comment section because this is a good deal for Sieler, whatever, okay? Hey, you know what? Let me try to get it right. Since we done extended the man, I think it's only right that I get it right. Is it Sieler or Sieler? Because I've been getting that wrong for 3 years now. Put an E for Sieler, put an I for Sieler. Because it's time to get it right because he earned it. Y'all know I don't care about getting nobody's name right until they literally locked into the team. So give me an E or an I. Sieler or Sieler? All right, I got my eyes. All right, Sieler, I, Sieler, I. I gotta remember the I. I gotta remember the I because he ain't no goodbye. He's staying on the team by and by. I, Sieler, I, Zai. All right, I do that to remember. Now watch I mess it up on the next stream. All right, all right, Sieler. Now listen, great deal. I think it's a steal. I'm going to tell y'all now. Sieler in the open market can get $16 million. Sieler in the open market can get $16 million in my opinion. I'm telling y'all, this is a great deal because we got him on an average of about 12.8. Let's just say 13 million. We got this man for 13 million a year. On an extension. Now, keep in mind, this year he's only making like 3 million. So when you really put it together, this is like a 4-year, $41 million deal. 41, 42. When you put it all together, this is like a 4-year, 42 million because he still got this year on his contract. This is an extension to make it 4 years. So in essence, you got Sieler for pretty much $10.5 million per year going forward. And now you get to play with the money and have whatever flexibility you want. Now, to be quite honest with you, I already know what the Dolphins are going to do. They're going to backload this boy because right now him making $3 million, I can't see them taking on more this year. I think they'll push this year and make some more room next year and push it out. Now, it's still a contract extension. It's still cash. It's still money that goes on the books that gives us less cap space for the future. That's just the reality. So Chris Grier is already starting to sign the players that have earned it and should be a part of the future, which is giving us even less cap space, which is guaranteeing that in the next 2 years, some of these big names got to go. You know, your Armsteads, your Tyreeks, your Xavier Howards. Ogba already gone next year. Everybody know that. Hopefully this year. Hopefully they're able to trade him. But that's what it's doing. It's guaranteeing that we are starting to sign our players for the future, but understanding we're not going to really be able to make too many just major moves moving forward. Now, I told y'all, Sieler, in my opinion, in the open market can get 16. It might even be a team that's crazy enough to give him 17. So that's why this is a nice deal for Chris Grier and the Dolphins. And I think that they went ahead and got it done ASAP after we got ran all over last night. Chris Grier made that phone call and said, let's go ahead and lock him in. Because I really, truly do feel like there may be some uncertainty with Christian Wilkins right now. And I know it's a hard pill to swallow, but this could be a reality. Now, we might look up tonight and get breaking news and Christian Wilkins got his money. But we don't know. This is an interesting situation because you have to secure somebody for the future, and they've already done Sieler. Shout out to the homie Jose with the donation, said we're going to push hard for Jonathan Taylor using Wilkins in some way. I don't like it. Now, it's tough. It's tough. Because you need Wilkins. Yeah, you need Sieler and Wilkins, but you need both of those guys to have the defense that you're truly looking for. Sieler alone isn't going to make the catastrophic difference of what happened last night. Now, what happened last night may have been simmered just a little, but it's not going to make the catastrophic difference. Let me tell y'all something. You can disagree all you want, but here's my official stance. Christian Wilkins needs Sieler, and Sieler needs Christian Wilkins. Argue with a brick wall. Argue with a brick wall. they both need each other, because when Sieler's getting off, they're double teaming Christian. When Christian's getting off, they're double teaming Sieler. Those guys need each other, but most of the time we don't see that, because we don't never really recognize that they're making each other very valuable because of their both. I'm telling y'all, don't have to believe me, but both of these guys are just as good as each other. I give Christian Wilkins the slight edge. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm telling y'all now, Sieler to me is like an 8 and Christian Wilkins is like an 8.5. Quinnen Williams being your 10. And if you got nose tackles above a 7, you in good shape. And I'm telling you, Sieler is an 8 and Christian Wilkins is an 8.5. Quinnen Williams being your 10 in comparison. You ain't gotta like me for that, but Quinnen Williams, I'm telling y'all, you can sleep on them all you want. That boy there is a different type of animal. Okay? But they need each other. They have to be a package deal. So I just don't like the notion of Christian Wilkins getting traded without having a great replacement, because I just gave you a scale and Raekwon Davis is a 6. Argue with a wall. Argue with a wall. I don't care about McDaniel at the podium saying he's come on like this and that. I don't care what you done think you done did until you put it on film in the regular season. And we need Raekwon Davis to step up to on a whole nother. Let me tell you something. I feel like that dude Pili, or I don't know his name like that, but he has a bigger upside than Raekwon potentially, shorter and everything. But Raekwon come on this year, because see, what a lot of people don't realize is Chris Grier has done the right thing in bringing in players that's supposed to replace the veterans to save us money. The problem is every time we bring the replacement in the draft and hope that they can replace the veteran, they don't work out. They don't work out. When we brought in Christian Wilkins and then we brought in Raekwon Davis a year after or two, he was supposed to develop to be able to give us the ease and flexibility to get off of Christian Wilkins. The one thing GMs love doing that nobody noticed, when you draft somebody in the first round, within the next 2 years, you got to draft another project, and like in the second or third round that you hope that you can develop to take over for that first rounder, because it's going to get real expensive. If you hit, your team massively sees the upside. If you hit on those, if you can trade a first rounder away and get all those, like people don't understand that. Imagine hitting on Waddle, right? And then you draft the guy. Then you draft the guy in the third round, and he ends up being just as good as Waddle. And when Waddle's time to get paid, you trade Waddle for a first and a fourth, because the value, and you already got his replacement. Those are the teams that are able to build dynasties. But we keep failing on the backup plans. We keep failing on the lower draft pick that we want to develop to replace these guys in the future. There lies the issue in our drafting. The first round picks are easy for most GMs. Yeah, some of them don't hit, but they're likely to hit. This is why I don't judge Chris Grier off of first round picks. Oh, he drafted this person and all these first round picks. I don't care. These guys were supposed to be great, and I know all of them don't end up being great, but the probability is so high. So it's about that third, fourth, fifth rounder that you develop to replace the first. Bill Belichick is infamous for it. He'll let somebody walk in their fourth year like nothing, get that draft pick, and already had their replacement playing behind them for 2 years, and that's why they always got money. That's why they always got money. So that's why guys like Raekwon Davis, man, this is the last chance for him to step up. Guys like Noah Igbenogany, last chance to step up. Some of these guys got to step up to help this team. And if they don't, honestly, that's where Chris Grier's failures lie. But this move with Sieler, excuse me, I corrected. This move with Sieler, this was a good one. You got a top caliber player because, believe it or not, Sieler is actually, he has the potential of being top 10 in his position. He has been top 10 in his position. 2 years ago he was. Last year, I think 18th. But he can float around that area. And you got him for $13 million when the market for these guys right now is exploding. Now, here's what it does tell me as well. It also tells me that Christian Wilkins is about to be worth every bit of $20 million. Because let me tell you the kickers that Sieler doesn't have on his deal that didn't help him get up there. We didn't draft you, which comes at a premium. You get more money for that. Look at Jerome Baker. Sieler just got the Jerome Baker money, technically. The same type of money that Jerome Baker had, like a 3-year 37. Sieler 3-year 38. He got the Jerome Baker money, and I don't care what you say, Sieler is worth much more than Jerome Baker. But we didn't draft him. Drafting you alone, add another $3.5 million. That puts you at 16.5. You were a first-round pick. That puts you at another $3 million. That about 19.5 right there. And then look at the market. 10% premium. Add another 1.9 million. Christian Wilkins, listen. Christian Wilkins in the open market can get about $21 million, maybe even 22. In the open market, Christian Wilkins can, and I think it'll be around 20 to 21. I think Grier is gung-ho on giving this man somewhere around 17 to 18, 16 to 18. Grier's like, come on, man, you ain't got the sack numbers. The sack numbers was holding him up. Chris Grier trying to wave the sacks in his face. Listen, man, you're a dominant run stopper, but the reality is you're not impacting the game getting at the quarterback. Yeah, you may create some pressures, but you ain't sealing the deal. You ain't doing what Quinn and them doing. Quinn and Sacks add $8 million on his contract alone. You know, so I mean, come on, y'all being unreasonable. That's where Chris Grier at with it. That's where I believe Chris Grier is at with it. So with that being said, I don't blame Christian Wilkins because Christian Wilkins arguing on the flip side, yeah, but Quinnen Williams ain't hustling like me. Quinnen Williams ain't chasing the screen pass down 15 yards down the field, saving the play like me. Quinnen Williams ain't Quinnen Williams just in the backfield. He ain't out in the flat. He ain't out in the, somebody catch the ball 10 yards down the field. Why I'm the one making a tackle 20 yards down the field. He ain't hustling like that. I am. Because if you notice Christian Wilkins' game, that man is never giving up on a play. He's still he always involved. It doesn't matter even if it's even down the field. And that's a plus in his game too. So this is a tough situation. Will Chris Grier bite the bullet though? Not only that, it's interesting that Sieler got his money. Now you got to look up and say, what he gonna do by Connor Williams, who actually held out a little bit and came to camp as a good gesture? What are you gonna do about Connor? And Connor out here with the bad snaps. Connor out here with the bad snaps, but what you gonna do about it? You gotta secure a center. And what about Robert Hunt? Same thing. He wants his money. This is the year Robert Hunt should be able to get money. Robert Hunt, this is his 4th year. He wasn't a first-round pick, but he's up for his money. There's a lot of people that have to get paid now. And that alone is an issue. Chris Grier got a lot to figure out, but I will say he just secured one piece of the puzzle. But there's like 6 pieces of this puzzle. Connor Williams, Sieler, but he secured that one. Christian Wilkins, Robert Hunt. Technically, you still got Tua up in limbo, but we still know that they're going to let this play out. All of these situations have to be addressed. And that's not to mention guys like Austin Jackson and Noah Igbenogany. Even though we know it ain't even wise to do anything this offseason, but at the same token, let me tell y'all something. You know in this training camp if those guys will be worthy of being a part of the future or not. And I don't think neither of them did enough to know that in camp. Now we got to wait on them to show up or see if they can be worthy in the regular season. But again, if they ball out, it gets that much more expensive because you got a lot of people that you can't franchise tag. Imagine Noah actually becoming a good corner this year. Imagine Austin Jackson actually holding it down at right tackle. Imagine Robert Hunt holding it down. Or imagine you letting Connor Williams not get his extension right now. That's 4 guys right there. Not to mention Christian Wilkins, but I know you're going to deal with that because you're not going to let that get to that point. And you sure ain't going to franchise tag him because eating $23 million raw next year, because if you look at the top 3, he going to be, the franchise tag probably going to be $24 million. And I know you're not going to do that because you have no flexibility in moving cap. That's just a raw number. So this is real interesting because you only have a franchise tag for one player. You can't do it to all of them. So in the next 2 weeks, you're going to see some deals made. You're going to see some trades. Don't underestimate what Chris Grier have up his sleeve in trades. Listen, there's another thing that nobody's talking about. There are some trades that are sacrificial that actually makes the team better. Like, I don't want Christian Wilkins to be gone because I feel like him and Sieler need each other. But there is a world where you sacrifice a Christian Wilkins, you bring in a Jonathan Taylor, you also get more draft capital, and you get a little bit more cap space because you would have had to pay Christian Wilkins maybe about $5 to $6, $7 million more than you would Jonathan Taylor. If Josh Jacobs just got a 1-year deal of $12 million, Jonathan Taylor, being his age and wanting the long term, he might be a 14 million a year type back. So Christian Wilkins being around 20, that would save you $7 million, and now you got money to maybe invest in a better O-line. There are some moves that can save you money, but you'd have to sacrifice somebody like a Christian Wilkins. I don't know what's up Grier's sleeves, but he has a lot of flexibility. Some of it we'll like, some of it we won't like. Some of it we'll question, but time will tell. I'm telling y'all, we could either do some really good things out of all of this, or this can all turn out to be a massive disaster. There's some players that we're relying on to be massive for us because of the investment we made. And right now, those investments are looking like bad investments. It's too early to say, but you got to recognize, number one, Bradley Chubb, second half of last year, awful. First year in the install, so not that big of a deal. Now he's in a new install. He's familiar with it, but getting out of the old one, coming into this one, and you paid him all of that money and gave up great capital to get him, it can come back to really hurt us. Next one, Jalen Ramsey. You gave him all that money, and year one already, he's hurt. And we be lucky to see him back later in the season. We don't know. And even when he come back, how long will it take to come back to form? How long will it take him to get back to form? We don't know. All of those things are factors. Right now, these investments look like they're coming back to bite us. The Bradley Chubb and Jalen Ramsey addition those got to pay off. They got to pay off. Because I ain't gonna lie, it's gonna be embarrassing if they don't. And this all falls on Chris Grier. This is all gonna fall on Chris Grier. So, and this ain't the only investment. I mean, look at Armstead. Look at what you continue to deal with. People don't realize, though, Armstead's deal is fair. His deal is kind of built in as if you get hurt. If Armstead never had an injury issue, we'd be paying that man $10 million more a year. Not 10, but like 6 or 7 million more a year. So, time will tell. Shout out to Awesome LA with the donation, said, you really think the Colts are going to give up Pick and Jonathan Taylor? You crazy. I don't know what they're going to do. I have no clue what they're going to do. They may do nothing. They may give him his money. I don't know, but right now he's available, according to them. Right now, Jonathan Taylor is not happy with them. Right now, that relationship has been documented and verified that it is nasty. So I don't know what they're going to do. But in the meantime, he's not signed long-term with them, and they're allowing him to shop around. We're players. So whatever it's going to take, if it's feasible for us, let's go. You know, and this is the point that I keep making to people. Everybody's saying, yeah, don't give up too much of our capital for him. Y'all got to understand, unless we're going to be cutting veterans next year and the year after, we ain't even got money to pay them draft picks. We don't even have money for the future to truly pay the draft picks. Next year, we're pretty much negative cap. And today, with the extension, makes that even worse. Next year, we're banking off of the fact that we can get off Jerome Baker and Emmanuel Ogbah's contract. 2 contracts worthy of getting off of. Which alone, those 2 contracts is going to amount to somewhere around like $32 million combined. Or 30, let's just say 30. $30 million combined. But we're already negative a little more than that now. And with the Sieler deal, negative a little more. And then you got to replace those guys. You got to have good depth at the defensive end position. Because what nobody's talking about is Ogbah is a second string defensive end right now. And even being a second string defensive end right now, he ain't doing nothing. He ain't impacting nothing we see. He ain't making massive plays. He ain't showing up. This man is out here getting $18 million this year and playing like he getting 3. I mean, let's have the truthful conversations around here that a lot of people don't want to talk about. They just want to say, hey, if we can get off of that contract, why? Because we ain't got no backup defensive ends. Our backup defensive end, our best one is Andrew Van Ginkel. And he's situational. Awesome LA with another donation. I appreciate you, homie. He said, but they want a first or multiple picks for him. I get it, but once again, look at the team we built. It's a late first round pick. It's a late first round pick. Hopefully it's number 32, but I'm just saying it's a late first round pick. It ain't no better than 20, and if it is, this team was a disaster. And we got to purge the whole roster anyway. So it's a late first round pick. And it's the running back that you should have got with a late first round pick instead of Noah Igbenogany anyway. Think about it. You should have been able to get this guy with the whatever pick it was that we picked. Well, y'all remind me, what pick was Noah? I forgot. It wasn't worth remembering. What pick was Noah? Put it in the comment section. Some of y'all are better football heads than me. Put it in the comment section. So when people say, but they want a first round pick, yeah, it's going to be a late pick. And we hope that it's freaking 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st, and 30th. That's where you were supposed to draft him anyway, and he was on the board. So what we crying about? Do you realize we picked Noah Igbenogany over Jonathan Taylor? We could have already had him. No, let's not make this about the fact they won a first. When the truth of the matter is, we need to make it about the fact that we should have spent the first on him to begin with. To begin with. And a lot of people saying he was the 30th pick. So if he was the 30th pick, if that's the case, don't we want to be the 30th pick at a minimum this year? Don't we want to make the AFC Championship at a minimum? That's my minimum. Anything under the AFC Championship is a failure to me. You don't get this talent for too long. You only got one more year after this year to win it all. So you got to at least be in the AFC Championship fighting it out, because this roster ain't going to get that much better next year. If better at all, it might get worse. Because you don't have money. Only money we got is to pay the people we already have on the roster now, and we pinching pennies to figure out how to pay them. So no, I don't want to hear that. Yeah, but they won a first. If you can go back and do it all over again, would you have drafted Jonathan Taylor or Noah Igbenogany? My point exactly. So stop worrying about the first. Stop worrying about the first round pick. Y'all hit that like button. We got 460 people in the building. Only 200 likes. Let's get to 300, man, because we got a lot to talk about. Awesome LA with another donation said, I say it right now, Jonathan Taylor to the Eagles or Lions. You might be right, and I'm going to tell you like this right now. If he go to the Eagles, it's a wrap. They going back to the Super Bowl. If he go to the Lions, it's also a wrap, because they become instant contenders. And they already loaded their roster and made it better. Screw them picks, man. Y'all worrying about picks that we may not even have money to support anyway. People don't understand. This is why I keep telling y'all, if you don't want to listen to me, go listen to what Omar Kelly been trying to tell y'all all off season. This team is about to go through a major reset in about 1 to 2 years, depending on how this year goes. If we don't make the playoffs this year, the only way to salvage it, they got to sell the garage sale. You got to have a garage sale. You can't do like Denver, because you didn't invest the big money in a quarterback to have to try it over again. You have to have a garage sale if we don't make the playoffs this year, to have a whole new restructured rebuild. And if we are competitive this year but fall short, we're going to extend it out 1 more year, but that's it. The checkbook closes after that. And you will have to endure a major reset. Maybe not a major reset because your young core is going to be here, but Armstead, Ramsey, X, Tyreek, those guys are gone. Thank you for your services. Thank you for helping us make a run, but it didn't work out. And so Chris Grier had to decide, am I all in or am I cautiously all in? And that's just a matter of what you believe as a GM. It's a matter of what you believe as a GM. And this is where we start to get into the tough part of the stream that a lot of people are like, oh, here we go. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of these decisions are being made because we are yet to know how we feel about our quarterback. We don't know how we feel about our quarterback. Like deep down inside, we don't know. And you can lie to yourself and be like, yeah, they do. They know that they feel like he's the guy. Then give him his money now. Where's the 5-year extension? Where's the $200 million? They don't know. And this ain't got nothing to do with whether he can stay healthy or not. Y'all think that's the case. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. It's a factor, but it's bigger than that. That's where this year is everything for everyone. What y'all gotta, Tua can't be average this year. He can't be average. He can't. He has to play at a level to where they feel good about moving forward in a way where they're going to attack this window even greater the year after. The thing that's working against us really is timing. The timing situation right now is just scary. He ain't got to play MVP ball, Brent. He just has to be good. Not above average. He got to be good. He got to be good. He got to be Derek Carr at his best. Kirk Cousins. Tannehill at his best. He got to be those guys. Good. He ain't got to be elite. He just can't be the 13th or worse. No. He can't be the 14th or worse quarterback for sure. He can't. Sorry, y'all. We rolling through some rain. He can't be 14th or worse. What up, C007? What up, TD? You and Mrs. Tannehill? Be careful, Tannehill. Tua was so up and down that it's always a question with him. Yeah. And this is what people don't understand. This is bigger than just injuries. It's also play, because the one thing nobody can argue with me, has Tua played at a high level on a consistent basis in 3 years? No. 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 I think what will secure Tua this year in his extension is, number one, making sure he stays healthy. Number two, leading this team to the playoffs. And number three, being a top 8 quarterback. He got to be top 8. It don't matter if you are number 8. You got to be top 8. Because the reality is there's a whole bunch of quarterbacks that fluctuate between 9 and 15 any given year, just depending on the team around them in the structure. You got to be top 8. You have to not be the reason your team loses games as well. You don't have to be the reason they win. It's an added bonus if you are. But as long as you're not the reason they lose. Like the Green Bay game. Green Bay game, prime example. I am looking forward to week 1. It's not going to write the season, but I think it's going to be the most important game of his career, for the simple fact that that game right there, I believe, will catapult his confidence into a level that can push him to a new height that we have never seen of high-level consistent play. You come out the gate and you ball out with the Chargers, and you get that W and you redeem yourself from what happened the year before, I believe that that's going to spark something inside. It's going to be like getting over a hump. It's going to spark something inside that's going to push him to be great. Week 1 means so much for him, man. Y'all don't understand what it means in my mind for him. Because they going to come with it, and they going to come with the same game plan they had before. Shout out to Ibrima John with the donation, said, Wilkins needs to be traded to Arizona with extra picks for their first. Also, Cedric Wilson, second round pick, and Moser should get Taylor deal done. Well, first of all, ain't nobody getting traded to Arizona. They're tanking for Caleb Williams. They ain't giving no first round pick. Arizona ain't giving up no first round pick. Now, if they did, boy, no, I ain't finna be messy. But imagine getting Arizona's first round pick. Now Tua got to be the MVP. He got to be a top 3 quarterback, because if Caleb on the board and we got Arizona's first pick, you're gonna go cheaper. You're faced with, do I pay Tua a long-term extension, or do I get a player that I know right now is better? For what, $13, $14 million a year, and I get to lock in that salary for 4 years? It's a wrap. Anybody right now who can get Arizona first round pick, it has a gold mine. And say Tua becomes an MVP and he's just that good this year, now you got Arizona's first round pick, and you could probably sell it for 3 first round picks or 4 first round picks. So Arizona ain't giving that pick up. You done lost your mind. You think Arizona gonna give up their first. TD, I send you a donation. Where you send it, bro? Tua will be top 5 QB. If he is, we win in the Super Bowl. If he is, we're winning the Super Bowl. No question about it. No question about it. Let me see. The homie say he sent me a super chat. Back, I was checking the Cash App. I didn't see it, and if you did, I already read it. Lakers all day. I think I already read it, bro. I've read everyone that came through. Tua is in hot seat for season. He ain't in the hot seat. He know he got 2 years. Tua knows he got 2 years. He knows that. Awesome LA says, sorry, Herbert over Tua. I don't what happens that game. Yeah, man, I mean, any real football head knows it's Herbert over Tua, but at the same token, that don't mean the outcome of the game is going to be Herbert over Tua. It's just a matter of what our defense is going to do. Our defense really got to step up, man, because we can't make this a shootout. Caleb Williams going to refuse to play for Arizona. Yeah, they all say that until the time comes. He'll play for Arizona. He'll play for Arizona. He will. Yeah. See, y'all got to stop talking like that in the comment section. I see y'all right now. You know, because I mean, you're right. I can't have that conversation right now. That'll hurt every Dolphin fans' feelings, man. What some of y'all talk about in the comment section right now, imagine, you know, wasting the next 2 years and we don't amount to nothing. That's depression. That's depression. Best roster you ever had and is wasted. And don't let it be because of the quarterback. That's depression. I can't have that conversation. I can't. First of all, I can't fathom it happening unless Tua just fall on his face. And if that happens, do you know? See, we went from having a whole bunch of opportunities to get off of Tua and get a better quarterback, and we chose Tua. Good, okay. But could you imagine if we come to the realization that we chose wrong? Could you imagine if Tua just bombs up this year or next year or whatever? Could you imagine Tua giving us the Baker Mayfield treatment? Year 3 balled out like Baker did, and year 4 was just, they couldn't wait to get rid of him? Could you imagine how much we have gambled and lost? Could you imagine if... Yeah. Could you imagine if that happens? How bad that is for us? Could you imagine that? If that were to happen, if like he has an awful year this year, right? Which he not gonna have. But if that were to happen, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Greer gotta move heaven and earth and give up everything to try to go get to be a top 2 pick in the NFL draft. And then what do you really have? You got 2 first-round picks for the next 2 years. I don't know how many years ahead you can give up first-round picks. Do y'all know? How many years of first-round picks draft picks are you able to give up in advance? I just know you'd have to give up almost every first and second round pick pretty much for the next 2 to 3 years to even potentially make that happen. We hope that doesn't happen though. 4 years in advance, wow, you be giving up a lot. And we definitely hope that doesn't happen. But we're going to be fine. Tua's going to do his thing this year. And the one thing I can tell you, if we give him a big deal, he would have earned it. And we could all respect that. He would have earned it, and we can all respect it. We could all respect it. Y'all hit that like button for me. Let's get 300 likes. No, we are not going to be fine, TD. We are. Like, listen. It is so unlikely with all this talent for Tua to not lead this team. We're going to be just fine. We'll be fine. Ibrahima John with the donation just said Cards will have 81 million dead cap in 24 for Kyler Murray. They have to trade that pick, TD. Thoughts? They don't have to trade it because they still don't have to trade Kyler. Yet. They don't have to trade Kyler yet. They do have an issue with the cap. Yeah, I guess you got a point. That's interesting. That's interesting. Because that guaranteed money that they gave him on his contract, that's interesting. I got to go do some research on the implications of that. And if he's traded, if they have to eat it all or not. I got to go do some research. Because that's interesting. And who want Kyler? Who gonna want to take that contract and Kyler though? That's another thing that has to be talked about. Who's gonna even want Kyler with and that contract? Now Kyler's still a player with upside. It ain't like he's a terrible player, but he definitely hadn't been top 8 in the NFL. He ain't been top 10. And he's his injury concern. So if you really think about it, Kyler's in the same boat as Tua. Kyler is just like Tua. He just got, more in his tool belt with his legs, and these injuries making that an issue. You just passed.
In 600 feet. It's told me to turn right up here, no?
No, you passed.
Okay.
Yeah, you turn. Yeah, yeah, so I'm a Jets fan. You're the man, TD. Salute to you, homie. Appreciate you, man. Kyler is another RG3. Yeah, it's just hard. I'm one of them physical trait people. It's hard when you look at the comparison and their size and stuff. At least RG had to, could stand over the line, make a light left at the light. If Tua gets injured, Tom Brady. Tom Brady done, man. Tom Brady. But if Tua did get hurt, you gotta go find a veteran who's good to say. I ain't gonna lie. I will say that if Tua was to get hurt, they would definitely be calling Tom Brady like, please, just come on, man. Look at what we got. But we ain't gotta talk like that, man. We ain't talking like that. We ain't talking like that. Somebody said Ryan Tannehill. Could you imagine him coming back next year? I think Ryan finna go off this year. If that O-line holds up, I think Ryan Tannehill's going off this year.
Where's the gas?
Not right here. Well, maybe it is.
Is that the gas?
I'm not sure. Maybe. Well, you have to go ask up there. Tannehill not starting. Y'all don't pay attention to nothing happening in the league. He the starter in Tennessee, man. He's the starter.
You want to go ask?
Yeah, D-Hop bounce back season. Just go around and we'll ask. All right, y'all. Listen, we just got to our destination to get the boys. We're gonna wrap this up right here, man. Again, this is TD Fans Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Thank y'all so much for the love and support. Thank y'all for supporting our channel, and we appreciate y'all. I got to get up out of here. Got to go get the boys. Is somebody up here? I don't see anybody. Move up a little bit. Excuse me. Oh, okay. All right, man. Let me get out of here so I can make sure that we get parked and stuff. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. I got to go, man. I'm going to come back live later because we got to talk about this. Peace. I'm out.